Hi everyone, the Flayman here, and welcome to my walkthrough on Dark Souls Remastered. With classes I normally pick Warrior, Knight or Pyromancer, but this time I'm going to go with a Thief, and I'll pick Old Witch's Ring as my gift. Now this is the loadout I'm going to go with. Now without any further ado, let's start the game.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bullets peeled apart their stone skins. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
And now starts the adventure of the chosen undead. These here enemies here are harmless and only give you 20 souls, but in here is the stray demon. We don't have to worry about him at the minute. The only thing I have to worry about is what's through these doors. Because in here is the undead asylum demon. If you have black bombs, you could just kill him here, but I don't have black bombs, so all I could do is just run away. And now for the guy with the bow and arrow. It's quite simple, just run in here, equip your shield. He'll run away, giving you time to taunt him, and basically just run up and grab your weapon. Now because I'm a thief, I get the bandit's knife, which has really good bleed damage. It also has good critical damage, meaning backstabs, front stabs, and plunging attacks will do really good damage with this weapon. Now to avoid this trap, I just run off the side of the steps, which triggers it. And for trying to squish me, I'm just going to backstab him. And now we can talk to the first NPC of the game.
Oh, you. You're no hollow, hmm? Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you? Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family, "Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know." Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask, an undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
Now thanks to the key Oscar gave us, we can now go in here. Now these enemies coming at me, I'm just going to hit them with a heavy attack and then 2 light attacks. And this enemy in here just want to parry and then front stab. And now we're going to face the first boss of the game. I've got a present for him, it's called the Plunging Attack! Fighting the Asylum Demon, the best way to fight him is to get up close to him. I prefer to get behind him because it avoids a lot of his attacks. And it's a pretty quick fight. And now that that's over, we can escape the asylum. But before I progress the game, I'm going to go up here and turn left to get some souls. It's roughly around 100 or 200 souls.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first, but there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are actually 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
The first thing I'm going to do is get all the items in this area. I'm going to use up all my humanity because the more soft humanity I have, the better the item discovery. And there's going to be an NPC I'm going to talk to after I grab these fire bombs.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thurland. Have you business with us? If not, I prefer to keep a distance, if possible. Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this, as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you. Oh my, you again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you? Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods. Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith. My companions are Milady and her young knights. She is young, but burdened by an undead mission. We are her defenses, to keep her from harm. Come again.
Now we're gonna go down here, and I think there's 4 chests down here. One of them has a talisman and a morning star mace, which is this one. Get homeward bones from this chest, and the last one has Lloyd's talisman. I'm better off to run away from the skeletons than to fight them because I'm such a low level. They could kill me quite easily, especially with their weapons have the bleed damage effect. Now when I'm killing these enemies coming up, I'm wanting either a battle axe or a longsword. I would prefer to have both, but it's unlikely, and if I don't get them in this area or the area after, there's one last chance to get them coming up to the next boss, and if I don't get it then I'm gonna be fighting the next boss with a bandit knife. Which I prefer not to do. That dead body has souls. To make this jump here, all you get for it is a ring of sacrifice, which is useful later on in the game. But if you don't want to jump across there, you can trade a humanity with the nest back at the asylum for the ring of sacrifice. Now this is a big chance to get a battle axe, because there are a couple of enemies in this area that uses them. So there's a high chance of getting, more of a high chance of getting a battle axe than a long sword, because the majority of enemies in the next couple of areas have a battle axe, if not just a short sword. It's just really the guys with the shields that has either a spear or a longsword. Now these guys hanging here, I'm better off using a strong attack to knock them off, because if I use a light attack to knock them off, I will damage myself. And rubbish is a good item to trade later on in the game. It gives you a titanite slab, I think. I really hate going up here because the guy with the crossbow, so I have to be careful not to get hit while fighting the enemy down here. But good thing I got a backstab. Now the two guys with the shields and spears can be a bit of a nightmare, because sometimes you can wait forever for them to attack to be able to get a parry, and sometimes the other one can just circle behind you and attack you. But good thing that didn't happen. But that one enemy did take a long time to throw out his attack.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you, hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
With this merchant, I'm just going to really buy the residence key and the bottomless box.
Thank
The
you
repair
kindly.
box I can get from the blacksmith for 2,000 souls instead of 3,000. jumping across here, you get a light crossbow and some bolts. This is the best opportunity to level up a wee bit. In here can be a bit of a pain because there's 3 enemies and one of them's going to have a shield. He might drop a longsword, so hopefully... No, he didn't. See, the 2 things he can drop, you know, weapons wise, is a longsword and a hollow shield. But the reason why I want a battle axe is because I'm going to make that a defined weapon later on in the game. And the reason why I want a longsword is because I'm planning to upgrade that into a thunder longsword. Or I should say lightning longsword. Come on, attack me. Oh, I got him this time. I just waited too long to parry that. In here we get some pine resin, which is going to come in handy with this boss that we're going to fight soon. But before then, we're going to try and beat this guy. But I really want a backstab. Oh no, it didn't work out. So now I'm just going to run and lead him to some more open space. Coming to the battlefield, bitch. So what we want to do is parry and front stab. Makes this night a whole lot easier. than trying to just fight him or go for backstabs. And now to take care of the firebomb crew. Oh, I missed that. Now I've got the weapon I want, I'm going to... And I'm going to equip pine resin as well. But before we fight the boss, there's a creature that we're going to kill. Now, before fighting this boss, it is wise to take out his friends first. Can't have them shooting down at us when we're fighting him. Just a heavy attack with a light attack to just kill them easily. And about here we want to use the pine resin and then trigger the boss and run back to the ladder. And like the first boss, we are going to plunge attack him. And we want to beat him as quickly as possible. We've only got a minute. Ouch, that's not good. Not good. And that's the second boss out of the way. The reason why I wanted to defeat this boss really quickly was because pine resin only lasts 1 minute once you apply it to your weapon.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time. Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition, if you have a moment. The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, Could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey? This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this. We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
Here we have to run across, or you'll just get barbecued. Just like what just happened to me. But luckily I had enough health to survive it. And I'm gonna go down here, kick the ladder, and that'll be the end of the video. I'm gonna do a wee bit of leveling up, but hopefully in the next part of Dark Souls I'm going to ring the first bell of awakening. Until then, goodbye.